What if there was a synth that came out that could have 3 oscillators, a noise oscillator, dual filtering, that can either play together or just like separate from each other? There would be an arpeggio programmer in there as well, paraphonic programming effects on there as well. I think versatility is the name for that synthesizer, or Synth Pro X. Sound design tips. That's today's video. Let's go do that right now. Hey, what's up, I'm Minitaur Kitchen, and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, please don't hesitate to click subscribe and hit the notification bell, because whenever I upload a new video, you'll be kept in the loop and you'll not miss out on anything. Stick around until the end of this video. I'll tell you all about who the new patrons are, and I'll tell you all about Discord and Patreon. So yes, this video is sponsored by IK Multimedia. They have invited me to come over to Superboot a while ago, so we went over there, and they've even asked me to create certain sounds. So there are presets on the new IK Multimedia, Synth Pro X, that yours truly, Minitaur Kitchen, has created, which is a cool thing, I think. Yeah, so I was very happy for that. Not only that, I worked very closely with Enrico, who's the product manager there, to really get my vision on this synthesizer as well, as I thought at some point the envelopes could have been a little bit more snappy, because I do think that a good synthesizer should also have snappy, short envelopes so you can make drum sounds out of them. I am not going to go over what every knob does. What I will do though is see if this synthesizer can be one of the band members I can use. All the synths do different tasks within my live set. I will look at this thing in depth and I will tell you whether that thing can do what it is that I want it to do. It's cool that you know what a synth does, but how are you going to use it? That's what this video is going to be all about. So we're going to do some sound design on the brand spanking new IK Multimedia Synth Pro X, which is a mouthful, but it is a handful. So let's go do it. Alright, party people, what I've done is I've set this thing up in 2 different ways. There's 2 ways of using the Synth Pro X. I love a synthesizer or a machine to have a sequencer of its own, because then I think it can do certain things which are a little bit different from you just programming stuff. So in a sense, I have got the Midi here. There's connections on the back also for CV gate, so you can have this thing talk to your modular here as well. I have connected it through old school 5-pin DIN Midi coming out of one of the ports of the MPC. So now it's sending a clock signal to the synthesizer, because if I was to stop this, you'll see nothing's running. If I'll play it, and it'll just follow along. So what you can do is play along with this small little keyboard that's right here. It's a bit cumbersome. There's a few things that I would have thought could have been done differently, but you have to understand, for a synthesizer this size, there has to be done certain compromise. So obviously the 3 envelopes that you see here are all sharing these 4 knobs. So you have to understand that if you're working it, you have to dive into it. You have to understand on which page you are. But when it comes to sound design, I've got this empty slot sitting right here. It clicks as you want to go out. So let's go back. I'm going to go out. You see 32 is empty, which means that if I was to switch to a different pattern, and in the beginning it just switched instantly, now it starts to blink, and then you have to confirm it, and then at the end of its run, it'll just go to the next sequence, which is cool if you use it in this mode. However, if you were to connect this through USB-C and then have it be connected through USB MIDI, which is cool because I've done it, and the MPC will see the Synth Pro X show up. But then if I switch a sequence, it'll also send a program change to the MPC to go switch a sequence as well, which is not ideal. And I've turned program change off on the Synth Pro X, so I need to go back to IK Multimedia and see if this is something that I'm screwing up or is something that they can look at in the future. This synthesizer though, here you go, 1, 2, 3 oscillators. They are very cool oscillators. And then there's this continuous sweeping of going from a saw all the way to a square, so it can just go up and it got a nice sort of like matrix thingy going here. So if I was to switch the waveform, you see it come up here so you can see what it is that you're doing. Really cool. Then there is baseline mode. So now it acts as a synthesizer. On baseline modes, they say on the manual that it's going to resemble a 303 of some sorts. Not going to be a 303, but if you would like to get 303 type envelopes, it does the trick. So where the filter will go up to 20 hertz, usually it now goes up to 5 hertz or 5k, sorry, up to 20 hertz, 20k, it will go up to 5k now. So there's a different thing that switches, and the attack and sustain, the decay and the accent, it just does different things right here. So that's cool. You've got your filter envelope, you've got your usual envelope to shorten the sounds, and the envelope was something that I spoke to Enrico about. I said, listen, when this thing was in development stages, he would come back to us and ask us, what is it that you think you could change? Now, I love short envelopes on my synthesizers. Why? Because you can make drum sounds out of them, and you know how I love my percussive sounds as well. So it's cool if a synthesizer can do that. Now, I have now connected it to run and do this old school kind of vibe, right? So if I was to place this thing in rec mode, we've got this woody sounding metronome. Now if I was to, there you go, instantly cool. Now it's still in the, if it doesn't blink, it means that I can now add notes to it by holding this and saying, bam, there's another note here. And if I was to tie those notes together, I'll just go like this and say like, okay, maybe you can tie these notes together or have them play a little bit longer, which is what I do here. So I was looking for it there. There you go. Okay, cool. So instantly there's something that happens, right? Let's go and get a bit of a thing going so you can make up what this thing sounds like in comparison to another synthesizer. So we'll go. Let's record this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, hold on a second, I see something. Okay, this was on 116, and then take a triple it off, otherwise it doesn't work. Take it off. That's my note. Go in and say. Nice. Okay, so now I got my bass line going, right? Cool. Okay, let's lower this because we're focusing on the IK Multimedia Uno Synth Pro X. I love saying it because it's a very long name. So okay, now this is my tie sort of thing. I've got accents also. So if I want to place accents somewhere, then you say like, sorry. And then the accents, just the amount. Woo! That's the reverb. That's the FX section sitting here. You see an M, a D, and an R, which means modulation, delay, and reverb. But then holding shift means that if I want to just like say reverb here, and I want to turn it off, hold it, turn it down, bam, gone. Same for the delay amount. How sweet is that? So it's very easy in terms of performing. And if this was to go, if I now switch it, it will record that in, so you need to be careful if that's not what you want, okay? Now, again, I'm turning this off, but there's 3 oscillators, there's only one playing right now, yeah? So turning off the drums, and turning down the bass line of the Minitaur. I love to have this little bed of the sound under the bottom so you can hear what is happening. Okay, now let's listen to those filters. One is an OTA filter, the other one is a SEM filter. Well, SSI, but SSI is a new company for the guys that brought you the SEM filter back in the days. SEM filter renowned for, I think, the SH101 and also things like the Korg Monopoly. And then Roland filters, the OTA filter, were used on Roland synthesizers, like for instance the Jupiter 8 and also the Juno 60. So those 2 filters, they work together, as you can hear. Now it's in high pass filter because I've got it engaged, and now it's let's shape it up. Put the reso down, envelope amount as well, stick it in the middle. nice. It's 2-pole now. It's 4-pole now. Ah, come on, man. How is this not cool? You know what I mean? So instantly, this is what I mean with, and then get some envelopes going. Illuminated. You're on the amp envelope. Mouse the filter envelope, and then you're gonna have to, I think, hold it. I think it was holders with shift. Yeah, blinking means it's envelope 3. So shift is always going to give you that extra thing. So I've got a nice 808 type bass drum right now, as you can hear. There you go. Instantly cool sound going on. So you can see that that is what's cool around it. Then there's the drive knob as well. Listen to what happens if I engage that. See what I mean? So instantly you can go from a friendly pat on the back to that jawbreaker kind of sound, which I also like. I love it. And then so, and the magic is all in the resonance on the second filter. So the one is a little bit more musical, I'd say. Find that place where it starts to break up, put the resin down. Get my envelope going. Now, let's make a drum sound, engage a little bit of noise, holding shift and then oh, nice. So accent and decay if I'm holding it. So anything underneath the normal lines would engage that secondary page, right? So it's a bit of menu diving, but what can you expect from a smaller synth like this, right? So cool. So this would be an extra sort of like top drum loop that I can just engage. Nice. And then going back to my liking this, right? Cool. So all cool. Let's go back to creating a sound. So I'm gonna go in. I didn't save anything, so now it's all gone, right? So I have to all do that stuff again. So I can play those notes. Everything is just engaged. One oscillator. Let's see if we can make, yeah, maybe some sort of an arpeggio kind of vibe, right? Oh no, let's go into paraphonic mode. Let's do that first. So paraphonic mode means holding all these oscillators, playing this voice button here until it says paraphonic, and then woo! Really? Can we record this? I don't like that last note that I played here, so what I'm going to do is say clear, hold clear, and then that note is gone. Okay, let's experiment a little bit with it. And you made a drone out of it. This drone, which is a little bit wobbly, plays around with the sound that I got right here. Listen to this. Let's add some drums to this. Now I think I need a little bit of reverb on this because that might be cool, right? Let's get some reverb. Okay, let's check it out. We've got reverb here. Very growly. Let's see if we can record that in, right? Okay. Let's start again. Up. Nice. I'm going to now record this filter onto this. Do it again. Nice. Got some delay on there, maybe. Also, if you want to switch different effects, it's basically selecting the effect that you would want. So in this case, modulation. Well, let's go to the delay. I'm going to hold it, and when I switch amount, it switches between ping pong or Doppler or stereo or mono. So the same goes for the reverb. You go over there, you just like play around with the reverb first. Do I hear it? Reverb amount. There it is. Switch the amount. Shimmer. Woo! Blade and hold. I think that those are the ones. I think in future updates they might even add some more stuff to it, but this is cool the way it is, right? I'm liking this. I mean, not to say that this is something I'm going to use like this, but in order to have a little bit of a flow. Bass. This thing lends itself to be a progressive monster, really, you know what I mean? So, okay, having said that, now if I was to do it differently, I'm now going to play this synthesizer from the Akai. So I need to stop this, stop it quick fast. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to stick this in. Let's be a little bit gentle with this machine. Okay, so this is now engaged, right? So if I was to go to this page, it now says, because I already did it ahead of time, you know Synth Pro X. So if you know the Akai, you can, on the MIDI page, decide what goes where. Now, what we're going to do is go to number 53. I have to do that because I'm on pattern 53 now. I'm going to do this because this is a bug that I found. So if I'm going to 54 and hit it, boom. Now this switches to 54. Not ideal, but okay, I have to figure out what's happening because I do think this is easily done. So what I will do is I'll go to setup. I have to go all the way down to MIDI and to sync. Now sync, I need to go for receive, external, and just put it on internal, right? Because it doesn't need to listen to incoming sync anymore because it will get triggered here. So playing the sound. I need to go in because I do think that there's still some automation that might be recorded. And there's a lot of information that has been recorded. So I will go in, delete that, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Probability, so get out of here. So now, go in, go in. So basic sound, right? Oscillator 1. I've already tempered with it a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say if I can play a bass line from here and see if we can get it close to a Mo kind of vibe. Okay, I'm liking that, yeah? So let's record this, 2, 3, and go in. I'm liking that, right? I'm not thinking about this bass, I'm just playing it straight in. Now what I'm going to do is take out the drums, except for the kick and the pad. And now I'm going to see like, okay, what can I add to this thing to make it a little bit more gritty? Now there's drive on there. Listen to what happens if I use that. Fat, right? Now I'm going to go and see what I can do with the oscillator as it goes from a saw. Listen to that, it folds. This is what a Typhon does. This is also what the OB6 does. And I love the fact that it just goes into there. What I do like about this though is that you can pretty much make out what the waveform is going to do. Now I'm going to get a little bit of a grit on there, so it's a saw with a ramp up to the right, but what I would love is a little bit more grit, so there's a little bit of an edge on top of it, which obviously the drive is introducing. But now I'm going to show you what I mean with these envelopes. So my amp light is on. I might have to change it a little bit. Now as you can hear, it starts to click a little bit because the attack is so short that I need to and the reason is the same. Put the amp decay a little bit, say around 100. Okay. Now I'm liking this, right? Do you see how it's blinking? Bam. So if I go down, you can see it's playing the notes. 30 notes for an octave, right? Why are there 30 notes here? Because there's a C. It doesn't end on a B, but it ends on a C. So there's a low C and a high C, which is cool because otherwise you wouldn't have seen this top light blink. So that's cool. Okay. Now, let's say we're going to store this sound because we love this sound. So we say empty. This is how you store it. Then it goes in and it says like, would you give it a name? And I'll go like, of course. Lazy as I am, I'm just going to go and say empty. Okay, now it's empty. So my empty sound on 53 is now stored. Again, bam. Cool, it's there. Now let's add another oscillator. How does that work? Pretty much you select oscillator 2, which also, and it can also act as a ring oscillator as well with shift. What I'm going to do is just add another one, which is what I've done now. Tune it. Oscillator 2 and oscillator 3 can be synced to oscillator 1. So you can even do some FM with this as well if you would like to. So if I was to hold this, add oscillator 3. You know what I mean? There you go. So turn it off. So there you get another sound that you can use, or just use it as simple. Cool. There's glide on there, obviously, which you can do. Tie notes. Like I said, what else is there? Well, you know, just copying, paste, clear. That's all that happens here. The filters are either in sync or working together, as you heard, influencing each other. They can be just stripped apart. But if you set this, for instance, say if the SAM filter was on 12 and the OTA filter was on 9, if I was to link them up, usually, ideally, if I'm changing this, it would mean that that's what happened internally. You don't see the knobs move, but that's what's happening, right? So you can link both of them together, which is also a cool thing. Now, what else can I do with this sound? Effect goes a long way. Let's put some modulation on this. I think it's a bit on the thick side, so what I'm going to do is high pass it. Nice. bass. Level it a little bit. There it was. Okay. Started as a bass. Starts to become a lead now. Let's put a little bit of glide on there. So, glide speed. Gotta get it to work. Okay, yeah, that works. I think I know how to get it to work. Wait a minute. So what I'm going to do is I have to do it in the MPC. So let's make a smaller sequence and then make one of the notes longer so it will engage the glide. So I have to make this longer at an end. There you go. It does it the first time, but it doesn't do it the second time. Let's lower this. Nice, cool. Filter it down. Listen to this bass, man. How do you not like this? You know what I mean? So I love the versatility of this machine because it's small, but it sounds like a big machine. You know, it's almost telling me like, you know, get it to do something with another bass. You know, can you stack it? Let's stack this one. Okay, same thing. Let's not make it too complicated. The first part of the beat, as you can hear in my call and response pattern, what I have right now, is doing pretty much the same sort of thing. So what we're going to do is put this on force one. Shape this sound a little bit as well. I would have never thought that there was a synth that would be digitally controlled, because it's analog obviously, but it's digitally controlled, which could get so close to the Minitaur right here. Liking it. More drums. 2, 3, go. How's this progressive for you? You know what I mean? I think I can make leads and crazy stuff out of this machine. I'm literally just scratched the surface with this, which is something that I do realize. But as I said, it's nice to know what everything does, but that's never going to happen in a live situation. You're not going to stand there and play everything there is to play on this synthesizer. You would, however, try and do it the way I did it just now, you know? Get it to play a little bit more character. This is something I would love to undo. I was hitting the wrong thing here. Let's go in and say, if I'm going to go in and I can record this as well, because obviously the automation can be, if I was to play the sequencer, then obviously it would be per step. I can program whatever's happening. I however would like to do it live, so I'm going to record some sort of these filter thingies in. So this, wow. So what you would have is, this plays a pattern, but I would like to add another pattern to it, which is going to be this. Nice, wow. See how it's moving right now? I'm liking it. I'm very much enjoying myself. There's so much more that I can tell you about this synthesizer. I do encourage you to check it out. The IK Multimedia Uno Synth Pro X. How is this not a cool machine? I'm loving it. I'd like to thank IK Multimedia for sending it to me. I'd like also to thank them for a wicked time that me and Jelle both had when they've invited us to come to the super booth. It was even supposed to be released back then, but you know how things go. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way with parts and delays and everything. I am happy because I got to sit down with it and really make it my own kind of vibe. I do think that I know what I want from it. I didn't encounter any ghosts in the machine kind of things, which is what I sometimes have with synths, you know. And I'm happy to add this to my arsenal, because if this sounds like this, and I can make it sound CIA because it's now having a boogie behind the dumpster between the Minitaur. How cool is that? I can go crazy, but then this video would last for days, which is something I don't mind, but I do think that maybe you got more stuff to do, right? So thanks for watching anyway. All right, cool. And I do believe it is a very, very proud moment, as we've got 3 ladies that signed up to Patreon. I don't know what happens, why the synth world seems to be us guys with beards, short or long ones, but not today. We've got Shu, we've got Daisy Rose, and we've got Sophia Devoy as new patron for this week. Ladies, welcome. Welcome to the synth world. And they're all following it on patreon.com/analogkitchen, where we talk shop, we talk synths, we talk performance, we talk casing, we talk wiring, we talk gas, we talk what to do, we talk what not to do. We talk about performance, how to get over certain fears, how to just like throw your demos in there and have people listen to it. My community is vastly growing. I'm very happy for it. If you follow the vibe, it's cool. If you don't follow it, you best to follow it. It's a vastly growing community. Everybody's very respectful, and I'm really cool that everybody just helps each other out. We've got Patreon connected to Discord, so that's where the magic happens. So that is where you can get closer to yours truly, because you could never, ever in your life have too many questions and no answers. So that's never a good thing. So, okay, that is that. Thank you for watching. Thank you, IK Multimedia, for really supporting the vibe. And thank you for getting me on board. I love the synth. I'm happy that I can actually now show it off to people, because I was already playing for it for a while, but obviously there is some NDA involved. You cannot just show stuff before it's released, but it's released now, so it will have a nice place within the Analog Kitchen live set. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far into the video, you, sir or lady, are an absolute superstar. Keep watching this space. Next week, I'll be back with another video. I'm Analog Kitchen. I'm signing off. Peace.